Alright, this is some of the early American U.S. postage stamps. So let's get right to it. Right here we have a 30-cent stamp. Look at that. Look at the blue in that. It's a really nice one. You can pretty well see the edges are all nice, pretty much centered. And those are the things you look for when you're out looking for stamps. The age, check the gluing behind it. You know, that can give you the time period in history. Alright, there's a 20-cent stamp. James Garfield. Here we have playwright. Eugene O'Neill. Here we have a half a cent. Lincoln stamp. Might want to check this one out and stuff. I mean, it's perfectly centered and everything. And also, you know, the way he's dressed and everything, I believe is different than some of the other ones. Okay, and here we have Franklin 1-cent stamp. Again, the edges are nice. A nice centered one. These are some good old American vintage postage stamps. Here we have a 15 cents, John Jay. Isn't that nice how they used to be dressed, huh? All that ruffle stuff. Okay, and we have a 40-cent stamp here. And we have a 3-cent stamp. Then a 2-cent Washington stamp. Now, a lot of them you got to look at it. Look for the details. It's a lot about the details in that. Okay. Here's an 8-cent stamp. A Grant. There's a 25-cent stamp. Oops. And then we have a 3-cent stamp. These are all very nice to look at, to check out, and to start collecting. You know, as a retirement hobby or business, whatever you would like. It's a really, really good investment, because some of these old vintage postage stamps, you know, with all the technology, will be a thing of the past. Here's a 1-cent stamp. This is a Washington, George Washington stamp, but if you notice, completely different than a lot of the other ones that you see. It's a green stamp, 1 cent. Okay, here we have a 4-cent stamp. McDowell. Very nice. Beautiful brownish color. Here we have a 5-cent stamp. These are all very nice and vintage stamps. We have an 8-cent stamp here. Now, you know, when you look at the old ones like that, I mean, you were somebody very important in order to be on the stamp. Here's a 30-cent stamp. Okay, a 14-cent stamp. If you notice, most of them preferred side views for their stamps. There's a 3-cent stamp, 1873 to 1944. Mr. Smith. There's an 8-cent stamp. Some of them come in different colors. There's a 4-cent stamp. And here we have a 9-cent stamp. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and think about starting a collection of your own. If you're in your early 20s and 30s, it's a good investment. When you retire, there'll be some great values. And it's always nice to start a collection. Pick a hobby, you know, whatever type you want. You know, some people it's animals, some people it's butterflies, you know. Whatever excites you and stuff, start a collection in that area. They're always cool to look at. So many stories, so much history behind every one of them. Alright, bye-bye now. Okay, here we are. Fun with investing in many different country postage stamps. So we've got a good collection here. So if you're collecting from any of these countries and stuff, be sure to check this video out. And if you know of others who are collecting specific countries and everything, and it's in this video, be sure to share it with them. Because investing in postage stamp is a good hobby, a good investment, and people are really using it for retirement. So, here we are. We'll start with this one right up here. It's a 20. Helvetia? Not quite sure. That's a beautiful picture. Alright. This one here is a 0-80. A lot of these, I don't know where they're really from. So, just take a good look at them and decide for yourself where they're from. I mean, if you know more about stamps than I do. There's a 40 Republic. This is, I think, German. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the picture, the details of that. And one of the things you look for is to see if it's centered, because that's the quality of the stamp. See if it's used or unused. That makes a big difference. See if it's in relatively good condition and stuff, with no creases and stuff. Well, it's make the stamp very valuable. Now this one here, I have no idea. Very different. You know, because of the stamping on it, I can't really make out, but if you know, there's like a 4 and a 10. Not really sure about this stamp. Okay, and then we have a 6 cents USA. Lee Erickson. Okay, and we have the 10 cent, 10C, Netherlands. Beautiful one right there. And we got this little blue one. The post office enjoyed stamping this one. Then we have a 10 here. Nice ship in the water. And there's a 50. 30, not a 50. Now you can find all of these stamps individually on my Pinterest board. There's over 1,300 different stamps from different countries. This one here is India. And we go down to Portugal. Look how beautiful that is, huh? Very good condition. This would be a good one for a collection. This one is a 3-con, K-O-N, CCCP. And this one's from the Netherlands. Nice tree. Here we have a 5 from Helvetia. This one here is Spania, 25. Here we have a 20, Nippon. Postage Italian. Okay, this one's just a typewriter. Posca. Very different to see that on a stamp. Oh no, it's not a typewriter. Look like a typewriter. It looks like, I don't know. Almost looks like it looked like a typewriter just from looking at it from quickly viewing. But it looks like two people sideways, almost like the stamp should go this way. Very different. So if you know what this is supposed to represent, be sure to leave a comment. Okay, then we have this one. This is kind of unique in its way. Very different. Kind of looks a little bit like a guitar in the middle there. Okay, and this is another one from Helvetia. Okay, and then we have this one here. Very nice. Okay, then a 125 here. Canada stamp. This is Magya, a 1. Magya Posta, which is a Hungarian stamp. Then one of these here, 0-50. This one here he's cute. Very unique. I mean, the collar goes with the shape of his face. España. This is a 10. Isn't that different? If you see, it's nicely centered and everything. Okay, and last we have this one. 6 cents. So I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. They're very unique in their own ways. Very different. Hope you've enjoyed my bringing them to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more, for sure. Alright, bye-bye now. Here we have history in stamps. There's a lot of history that's inside of each one of these stamps and what they really represent and the reason why they became a postage stamp. So let me take you through them. This is a good collection. This is good to be collecting. It's pretty much an investment in the future. So if you start collecting some of these old ones when you retire, they'll be worth a lot. So let's start by looking at these. Honoring U.S. servicemen, prisoners of war, missing and killed in action. This is 6 cents, United States stamp. Okay, and the Captain James Cook, 13-cent stamp. Look at the expression on his face. That tells a story all by itself. Okay. And here we have the American Miliota. It's a 10-cent stamp. Look at that. Very nice stamp. And the Marine Corps Reserve stamp, 5-cent stamp. This is their 50th anniversary. Then we have a 23-cent USA. That one's not so old. Then we have a 15-cent USA. Honoring Vietnam veterans. Very nice one. Okay, and then 1883 to 1983, United States 5-cent stamps. The proclamation. Okay, and then we have a 3 stamp. Paul Dooley Wine, MD. And the old 25-cent stamp here. You can tell these are old by looking at the ink. Of course, you can always check the gluing in the back. This is not a scented one, so, but you can tell before they came out with all the bright colors. Okay, this is a USA 1-cent stamp. Dorothy Dix. And then United States Postage, the Liberty, In God We Trust. And of course the Statue of Liberty is in red. Okay, and George Mason, USA 18 cents stamp. Frederick Douglass, 25-cent stamp. Okay, then we have a 7-cent Wilson stamp. Then we have pre-sorted first class 12-cent stamp. Freedom of Consents. Americans' Rights. Oh, okay. The Fire of Flames. 12-cent stamp. Then the 6 cents Eisenhower, USA. And a 1.5 cent Martha Washington. These are the older ones, you can tell by the ink. Okay, and a 15-cent stamp. Alright. So I hope that you found some of these stamps to be very interesting. And if you know of stamp collectors, be sure to pass the video on to them. Let them check this out. See if you got a piece missing from your collection and stuff. Because I bring them from all over the place. Just collect stamps and bring them all to you. So if you have pieces missing, go to my Pinterest board and check them all out. There's over 1,400 in there right now. It's under Doris, View With Me, because my other two YouTube channels are View With Me and View With Me Too, and bow yarn. So Doris, View With Me, bow yarn, Beaulieu, and you will find all my stamps. I post them all on there when I'm done with my videos. So you can get a closer look by looking at the videos or by looking at the pictures individually, whichever way is clearer for you. Alright, see you later, and be sure to sub me because I'll bring you some more. Bye bye now. Alright, here we are with some good old vintage postage stamp. Come from all over the place. We'll start you right off right away. Here we have a 3-cent stamp. Charles R. Drew, MD. And we have a 5-cent stamp. Monroe. Now look and see how centered that is. Unused, in good condition. Those are the things you look for in stamps if you're starting a stamp collection. Here we have a 3 cents. George, very distinguished looking. Here we have a 4.5-cent stamp. The White House. This one's a good old vintage one. Kind of tell by the ink. That gives you a good idea right there. Here's a 21 cents. Chester Carlson. A 15 cents from Oliver Holmes. Then we have an 83. This one's very unique. Okay, Thomas Jefferson, 29, USA stamp. Thomas Gallender, 20-cent stamp. Here's a 15-cent stamp, John Jay. Nicely centered but used. Look at the rivage edge. That's something else you check out. Okay. Cleveland, 12 cents. Stamp. This is a good old vintage one. Very nice one. Good one to have in your collection. As well as this one. 3 cents. Eager. Very distinguished looking fella, isn't he? The way he combs his hair and everything. His emblem's got a horse there at the bottom. Very nicely designed. Okay, a 12-cent stamp from Harrison. And then 8 cents from the General. Then we go down here, 37 cents, Robert McLean. 25 cents, Olivier. Wow, very different. Brett Hardy, $5 stamp. Ah, that's the same look as that other one. The mustache there and the curls of the hair. Alright, now this one here is a black and white 2 cents Harding. Very nice one. See, it's got the years up there in the corner. 1865 to 1923. Look at that, it's embedded right in the corners in the stamp. I don't know if that makes the stamp more valuable, but I always thought that was just designs. I'll have to start looking at the corners to see if dates are on there. Very good. Good one. Okay, and a 3 cents, Victor Hebert. Wow. You can tell this is an old one by the die. Okay, and a 17 cents, Rachel Carson. $0.30, Frank Labash. $0.22, John Aldulin. A $1 stamp from John Hobskin. Very serious looking fella. Okay, and a 4 cents from Noah Webster. A 4 cents from Robert F. Tuff. $0.04 from Lincoln. $0.03. Gee, I don't know. Cyrus. Wow, look at that. What a nice stamp. You can tell it's an old one by the die. Okay, and then a 39 cents Glenville Clark. Alright. So if you see some of these that you know something about, you find them very interesting, be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and always leave a comment. You know of others who are stamp collectors who might be missing some of these in their collection. Be sure to pass the video on. Sharing is always good. Alright. Hope you're having fun with your collection. Bye-bye now. Alright, let's take you through some vintage USA stamps. And it's always good to collect all the nice vintage stuff. So let's get going and show you what we have today. Alright, here we have 15 cents. George M. Coohan. We have 20 cents, Library of Congress. Then right here, look at this one. This one's really, really nice. It's just a 1 cent. But I mean, look at the details of that. With the ships and everything. Like they're going into battle and stuff. This is a very good vintage one. Now one of the things you look for is for the rareness of the stamp to begin with. You look to see if it's centered, which you can clearly see this one is not quite centered. whether it's been used or not. That all affects the quality. But collecting in vintage stamps like this will be worth a lot in your retirement, especially if you're collecting in your early 20s and 30s. Because with all the technology and everything, these stamps are going to be worth something. Alright. National Parks Centennial, 6 cents. There's John here, 15 cents. 32 cents. Lighthouse. Look at this one, another good one. Eagerly Masters, American Poet. 6-cent stamp. Look at that. That's a good vintage one. There's another good vintage one. The 5 cents. Look at all the details that's involved in creating such a beautiful stamp. You always look to see the rivage and everything around the stamps too. That all counts. Okay, here's a 1 cent stamp. Oh, look at that one. 1833 to 1933, a bicentennial one. You can see the fort there. That's a really good vintage one too. You can kind of tell by the color of the ink and everything too about some of these for their vintageness. Okay. And this is early cancer detection. 13-cent stamp. And here we have another lighthouse, 25-cent stamp. Then the Architects, 15-cent stamp. Of course, a Packard stamp. Gotta have one of them. 1932 Packard. 25-cent stamp. I mean, that was a popular car, I'll tell you that. That's a cool one. Alright, VFW. National Home Care. 1955-6. Education and Love. Very colorful stamp. Okay, and this Pharmacy, 8-cent stamp. And another architectural stamp, 20-cent stamp, Architecture. Okay, we have Frank Lloyd Wright, 2 cents Postage. That's one of the old ones, huh? Can't buy a stamp now for 2 cents and mail your letter. You need a lot more to go with it. Okay, and then we have the 9-cent stamps. The Right of People, Peaceable to Assemble, U.S. stamp. And this one here is the Hermitage, 4.5-cent U.S. postage. I don't understand how they get the half-cent. You can't cut a penny in half. If you need to just mail one letter and that's it, you only can afford one stamp, you must have to forfeit the other half-a-cent. I don't know. Don't understand that at all. Very nice one though, so you know that this is one of the old ones and stuff. Because you can't buy a stamp for 4.5 cents today. Also, you can tell by the ink, the green of the ink and everything too. Alright, and this is Mount Vernon, 1.5 cent stamp. So they dealt with the simple dies back then. Okay, and Ralph Bunchy, 20-cent stamp. Okay, So if you know the history of some of these stamps and stuff, nice collectible stamps, be sure to leave a comment. And of course, share these stamps with anybody else who's also collecting stamps, because postage vintage stamps are definitely a good investment. It's a good hobby too when you reach retirement. Collect it, leave it to your grandchild or something. It's really kind of cool. Alright, bye-bye now. Okay, today we're going to show you a bunch of American flag postal stamps. You know, where they're all red, white, and blue. Some have the stars on it, some don't. Some just say yes, USA, but they're all have a red, white, and blue on them, or the Liberty. But here's some very unique ones that are really nice to look at. So here we'll start with the ones on top. So if you're a collector, some of the things you want to look for is, are they centered? Are they used? What condition are they in? And what kind of gluing they have. So when you're about to start your collection, because this is a really good retirement, those are the things you want to look at. A lot of people are investing. Instead of putting money in the bank, they're investing this way. Alright, so here we go. There's a 29 cents. I pledge allegiance. USA flag. Postage stamp. You can see how the flag is just a waving in the wind, really good. So that's a very good stamp. Here we have a 22 cent. You just see the flag, you don't even see it on a pole. All you see is the flag. This one here is a 20-cent stamp. This one's on the pole in front of the building. Here is a flag in front of the Capitol, 6-cent stamp. This United States, 6 cents. This one here is a 10-cent stamp with two flags crossing each other. Now if you notice, one flag is with all the stars, and the other flag, the stars are in circle. Okay, here's another 32-cent stamp. You see the half of a flag flagging in front of a building. Here we have a 5-cent flag. The flag is overflying close up with the Capitol behind it. Okay, here we have Statue of Liberty. It just says First Class, USA. Statue of Liberty with the flag behind it. Then we have a United States 13-cent stamp. That one, the stars are in a circle. It's not a pole, it's just a flag in the background with the stars in a circle. It's not hanging on a pole. Okay, there's this one here. It's also an 18-cent stamp. Almost gives you a bunker type picture in it. Okay, here we have a 29-cent stamp. Okay, with our 4 guys on there. Okay, that 32 cents USA stamp. See part of the flag at the bottom. This one's a 39-cent stamp with the Liberty and the flag going. Here's a very blue sky. Flag flying in the blue sky. Very blue, blue, blue sky. Okay, and that's a 25 cents USA flag stamp. Here's a 15 cents postage stamp with the flag in the middle. USA 34, Statue of Liberty. No flag in that one. This is a 13 cents USA flag. Flag in the belly of an eagle. It's like the armor of the eagle is an American flag. Okay, this one is a 21 cent United States airmail, and the USA is red, white, and blue, with the plane kind of flying right through it to cross the A at the end. Here we have a 5 cents. We appreciate our servicemen. USA Savings Bond, 25th anniversary. So you have a flag with the Liberty above it. Okay, now this one here is a 6 cent stamp. There is no flag on it. It's just the red and white. It says, "Don't tread on me." There's something going through it, a snake. So if you know the history of the story behind this, why would it just be red and white and have a snake going through it as a 6 cents United States postage stamp? There has to be a reason for that. So if you know the story, please share it with the rest of us. And right below it is the complete flag, not on a pole, but at least it has the stars on it for a 6 cent stamp. Okay, so there's two 6 cent stamps, very unique in their own way. Okay, and then we go down to, let's see, well, let's go down to this one here. 37 cents USA flag. This one says, "Old Glory, USA G, first class pre-sort." That's got a blue background with a flag on it on a pole. Now this one here says Peace Corps, 8 cents, United States. So it's a flag, but instead of stars, I mean there is some stars, but then it's like the stars turn into doves just flying off. If you look at those in the corner there, there's 3 regular stars and then another one regular. Then they start to form this shape of birds flying off, and then you got 2 of them flying off. So that's the Peace Corps one. Okay, now this one here is very unique. It's a 20 cent stamp, 1782 to 1982, USA, the Netherlands. Oh, it says USA, the Netherlands, but then it says USA, so that's a little confusing stamp. You know why this stamp came to be? Be sure to write. I mean, it's got red and white stripes. It's a 20 cents. And then it goes to half red and half blue stripe, and then the rest are blue and white stripes. So that is very, very different. Then down here we have a 4 cents United States postage. July 4th of 1959 is what's written on the stamp. That's a flag. This is a 4 cent stamp. Okay, and then we have register to vote flag stamp on a post for 5 cents. Then a small USA. In the words USA, you can see a flag waving. 23, pre-sorted first class. And then we have the US bolt rate, which is an eagle, and his armor is a flag. Okay, so we have some very, very unique looking ones right here. Very, very unique looking. So if you know the story of some of these stamps, go ahead and share it with the rest of us. That would be very appreciated by me and also others who may be looking at these this video. If you know the prices of any of these and what their value is, also be sure to share that with the viewers. Alright, be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. Bye-bye. Today we're going to do some airmail stamps. So how you look at them is very different. There are very different ones to see. So let's start by showing you some that just have letters. There's the A. Okay, and there's the D. Now this is the best condition for you to buy stamps and start your stamp collection. They're unused, they're centered. So those are the things you look at. You know, when you're buying stamps and everything and starting your collection, unused is worth more. Centered stamps in good condition. Look at these. There's no crease in them. There's no bend in them. So this is a perfect way. If you can get them in bunches like this, that's cool too. Okay, here's a C. Now see, the C was made big like that, and then they made them small. Or they made them small, they made them big, whichever. But these are both C's. Okay, just different sizes. And there's a B. Then we get down to the airplane. Look at that. Airmail, 5 cents. United States of America. Now look at this plane and everything, because you'll be seeing another one pretty much similar to that as a 6 cents, but smaller. Look at that. Smaller, but 6 cents. See the difference? Just difference in the size and everything. Okay, and then we have this one here. Isn't that a cute one, huh? In the rain. City Mail Delivery, 1863 to 1963, United States, 5 cents. It's like a mailman delivering. He's got his bag full of mail, and he's got an umbrella, and kids are running right by him with a dog. Isn't that a cute one? Okay, now look at this. 4 cents airmail. What a pretty blue. The eagle just flying. Like he's the one going to deliver the mail. Now this one here is very unique. Airmail, 25 cents. Is the plane coming directly at you with 2 round whorls for where the propellers of the engine of the plane should be. Very red, white, and blue. Okay, then right beside it we have an 8 cents airmail. You see the plane there next to the Capitol. U.S. airmail. Okay, then we have a 9 cent stamp, U.S. airmail, red, that just looks like the shape of a plane. Cat's trying to get the birds in the window. Doesn't understand the glass will stop them all the time. Alright, now this one here says P.S. Write Soon, USA, 15 cent stamp. It has the numbers underneath, 39233. So I don't know if that means anything to you. Alright, and then this one here is the American Legion, 50 years, veteran and citizens. U.S. postage, 6 cents. Look at that. The eagle with the red, white, and blue flag on his belly. The American Legion, 50 years. Okay. Letter, shape, opinions. Oh great, it's a 15 cent stamp with the Capitol coming right out of the envelope. That's very different in itself, isn't it? Okay, and here we have another Veterans Administration, 50 years of service, 15 cent stamp. And of course a 6 cents airplane airmail that I showed you. Here's another airmail, 11 cents. The plane going right up with the U.S. on each side of the plane. And down here we have a 13 cents. It's just an envelope with wings to represent the shape of a bird. U.S. airmail. Then the 7 cent. The plane going up with the U.S. blue written on both sides of the plane. Okay. Okay, and then we have two of these here. Official Mail, USA, and it's just an eagle, but they have different numbers on them. One says 20 and the other one says 33. Alright, so this pretty much concludes the viewing of these postage stamps. This is a good investment because postage stamps are going up in value every year, so this is really good to start a collection and watch it grow. These are some very good stamps. Alright, good luck. Stay tuned for more. I'll bring you some more. Bye-bye now. Okay, here we have some more vintage stamps from different countries and stuff. You know, like India and Romana and España, and some United States, India, Netherlands. You know, so we got some really good ones and stuff. One that I really want you to see and stuff is this one. Instead of saying Denmark, D-E-N, it's Danmark. So if you know if this one's an era or if this is an earlier time, you know, because they may have spelt it one way and then changed, and now it's always known as Denmark. But this one says Danmark, D-A-N-M-A-R-K. So if you know anything about this stamp, be sure to leave a comment because I find that very interesting for that to be like that. Okay, so let's go through some of these. One of the things you look for is for stamps to be very nicely centered. Of course, this Denmark one is nicely centered and stuff, but it is used, you know, because if it's nicely centered, that adds to value. If it's unused, that adds to value. Check the gluing behind, and that gives you a time period. So those are all things you look for when you start a collection. And of course, collecting in vintage stamps and everything is getting to be quite the hobby and a good investment. You know, with all the technology, we want to get right into the stamp collection stuff. You know, if you start young, it'll be worth something when you retire. So think about that. You know, it's all, you know, psychological. It's taking advantage of the situation. It's just a good investment all the way around. Okay, so here's a 60 Post-Aroma. Here is a 50B. Look at this one. It not only has, you know, the regular symbol and stuff, but there's a little truck behind there off to the side, which is kind of neat. Get to see the vehicle of that time frame. There's this one, 175L Posta-Romana. Now if you notice at the bottom there, oh well, that must be the zip code there, 19788. Look at that nice ship. Alright, here's another one, 515L Posta-Romana. Just a nice picture off, kind of like off a bridge. Okay, here's a 4 Lei, L-E-I, Post-Aroma. A lot of them, I think, maybe the older ones have the L-E-I on it. I'm not sure. If you know in which order it went, whether the L or the L-E-I's went first, be sure to leave a comment. It's all about, you know, everyone learning how to look at stamps, trying to figure out the value, which is the thing that everybody wants to know. So if you're a dealer and you know the value of some of these, don't be afraid to post it. It's always good to share information with people. Here's a nice ship here, 155L Posta-Romana. Okay, and then we get into some USA, 2 cents, postage stamps. Okay, now these next two are really interesting. They're both 50. One's brown and one's kind of reddish. pretty much the same picture, only one doesn't say Nippon and the other one does. I don't know the writing beside it. I would think Japanese or Korean, some kind of writing. So if you know what kind of writing that is, please leave a comment, share with everyone. We'd really appreciate that. You know, because it's nothing like looking at stamps and trying to figure out what is it. What does it, you know, really say? But these are very nice stamps. Okay, then a 9-cent stamp here, Washington. Post office really had a field day with their ink. Post Aroma 120 LEI, Lee. Okay, Netherlands, 10 cents. Look at that one. Almost looks like an ice jam, don't it? Okay, and a half a cent. Now the question said to me, you know, because this is a U.S. stamp, how do you get a half a cent? What if you only want to buy one stamp? How did they pay a half a penny back then? I heard someone say that, you know, like the old pennies, like I got a 1900 old penny. They used to cut them in half. But really, for postage, 1/2 cent? This is United States postage. I found that to be very different. Okay, so here we have a 3, Washington 3-cent stamp. Beautifully designed. This is that Denmark one. Instead of Denmark. Very interesting. There's a 20 cents. James Garfield. España 50 CTS. Okay, then we come down here. We have a 9-cent USA. You see it's stamped 1956. This is one from India. 20R. I don't know what the GNAT means. A beautifully designed one. I like the frame around it and everything. That's another 2 cents. John Adams. Alright. So I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Some very nice vintage stamps here. Good ones to look at. So if you know the value of some of these, be sure to share. And be sure to follow me as a friend because I'll be bringing some more old vintage postage stamps. If you want to see all these stamps individually, I do have them on my Pinterest board. I have a postage stamp there. There's over 1,200 stamps on it. And that's under Doris, View With Me, Bowyer. I use View With Me because my other 2 YouTube channels are View With Me and View With Me 1. View With Me 2. So, that's why I use View With Me with my Pinterest so that I'm recognized all together. Alright, so stay tuned for some more. Bye-bye now. Here we are today. We're going to bring you a bunch of bird postage stamps. Postage stamp is becoming a thing to collect. It's a good investment for your future. With all the technology and everything, this is a good hobby to pick up, and it's a good investment. So we'll start with showing you this one here. Ohio, 20-cent stamp. A cardinal. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Then we go to Oregon. Western Meadowlark bird. It's also 20 cents. North Carolina Cardinal, 20 cents. This one here is really nice. Organized labor, proud and free. USA, 15 cents. There's our eagle. Okay, there's Maine, 20 cent stamp. The chickadee. We have Kansas, a western meadowlark bird. Okay, then we come back down here to Wisconsin, a robin. Now this swan was just one of the stamps that I didn't know where to put it, so I added it to this. Nippon. I believe, you know, with the writing and everything, it's Japanese or Korean, one of them. There's a 25 cents pheasant. USA stamp. This one here just says USA First Class. Two beautiful little birds. Almost looks like lovebirds sitting there, but they're blue. This guy here, he's cute. 20 cents. Look at that. Very nice. Isn't he pretty? Look at the design of that one. Very nice bird. Okay, then we have the New York Eastern Bluebird. And down here we have Wildlife Conservation, 15 cents. An owl. Then we have Colorado. Lock bunting bird, 20 cent stamp. Then we have Hawaii for the Hawaiian goose. Very beautiful. And it also, you know, has the pictures of these birds, but also has the flower of the state too. This is Minnesota. Common loon. Of course, there's the flower too. So you not only have the bird, you also have the flower of the state too. Another Wildlife Conservation. It's another owl in a different position. 15 cents. Okay, and then California, 20 cents. California quail. And of course with the flower also. So here we have some very, very nice bird postage stamps. Hope you've enjoyed my bringing this to you. And you know, one of the things you look for when you're looking at stamps and stuff is to see if they're properly centered, because that increases the value of them, to make sure they're properly centered. Of course, if you have one that's unused, it's even more valuable. So you're looking for good condition, centered, and unused. Okay. Hope you've enjoyed my bringing this to you. And remember, this is a good investment. You can use it as a retirement hobby, or you can collect for the grandkids, like I'm doing for my granddaughters and stuff. So, I got two little ones. They're just starting out in life, Kara and Kenna. So, they're going to enjoy these stamps in their age. When they reach my age, they'll be worth a lot. So, happy hunting. Learn the value of your stamps and stuff before you start investing. And good luck. Bye-bye now. Okay, here we have some more nice vintage postage stamps. This is pretty much a collection of a whole bunch of different variety stamps. Not really knowing where to put them because a lot of times you just, put them according to states and stuff like that. So this is pretty much a bunch of odds and end ones from different places around the world. So let's get right to it. Okay, the first one we have right here is a publisher. This is a 13 cents, USA. Adolf Orsk, the publisher. Then we have America's Library, USA, 20 cents. Whoops, and then right here we have Missouri, 1821 to 1971. Look at that stamp. Isn't that beautiful? Nice Western type stamp. Really nice. And one of the things you look for is to see if the stamp is centered, which this one is, but this one's used. So you try to look to make sure that there are no creases in your stamp, and of course unused is always worth more. But there's a lot of value in old vintage stamps and stuff, because with technology and stuff, the value of stamp is going up all the time. So if you start your collection now in your 20s, it'll make a good retirement. Here's Indiana, 5 cents. U.S. postage stamp. Very nice. Okay. Dwight D. Eisenhower. He's 6 cent stamp. That beautiful smile on that man. Isn't that nice? Okay. Then we have Carolina Charter. This is 1663 to 1963. Then we have South Carolina, 1670 to 1970. Find a lot of these stamps. Look at the design on that. Isn't that nice? A lot of these are bicentennial type stamps. Okay, now look at this. This looks like Western now, don't it? It's a 5 cent stamp. Look at that. A battle. C.M. Russell. He was an American artist. So to be on a postage stamp, you had to be popular, famous in some way. So apparently he was for his paintings and stuff. Look at this stamp, how, it's nicely centered and stuff. That's what makes it more valuable. Unused. This is a good investment. Alright, now look at this one. The Alaska Purchase, United States Airmail. And then the 8's the other way, and so is the picture, really. So do you view it this way? Or do you turn it around and view it this way? It's rather interesting the way this stamp was made. Very different. Because to read it and to put it on your envelope, you'd be putting it on this way. But the 8 and the cent's going the other way, and so is kind of the picture. So it's different. This one here, I was trying to figure out, okay, what is it? It's 50 cents. Of course, it's about lighting and stuff. And I was trying to figure out, is this wrong? Is this right? What's wrong with this picture? I just couldn't quite figure it out. When I checked on the web, I did see there was some more like this. So I found that very interesting. Don't know the value of it and stuff. It looked kind of funny because it looks like on top it's got a screw. You wouldn't want it to screw to the ceiling. You'd think you'd want to screw it probably to the wall. But then it should go this way if you do that. So really, if you look at it, which way does it really go? Because if you do it this way, then the 50 cents the wrong way. So this was rather an interesting one to check out. Okay. Then, of course, we have 20 cents. Alaska statehood, 1959 to 1884. I mean to 1984. 1959 to 1984. Okay, that one there. Army and Navy for defense, 2-cent stamp. Oops, here's another nice one. I like this one. John Solon, American artist, 1871 to 1951. 8-cent stamp. Interfill, 13-cent stamp. That's a rather different one, isn't it? Furry red, white, and blue. Okay, and then we have this one. Kind of a desert scenery here. 20-cent stamp. Agave Desert Deserti. Deserti. I think later they had to drop the I, huh? For desert. After all, it's supposed to be a USA 20-cent stamp. So they added an I behind it instead of just desert. So if you know if this is supposed to be this way or if it's a flaw, let me know. Leave a comment. Okay, and then over here, oh, we got to have some jewelry in all of this. Can you imagine a postage stamp with jewelry on it? It's USA 2-cent stamp. Jewelry. Interesting. It is a nice piece. I would think it'd be a little heavy to wear, but it's a nice piece. Okay. U.S. postage, 5 cents. On the bottom it says 1215. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. If you know what that means, be sure to leave a comment. Be interested to find out what that represents. Okay, then we have some more lighting stamps here. I think it's supposed to be a $5 USA American Light leads. Okay, and we end with our wagons. 1900s, 3-cent stamp. Always nice to see wagons, isn't it? Okay, so if you know anything about these stamps, know the value of some of these, be sure to share it. Leave it in a comment. I'd really appreciate that, and it's always good to share with others who are also looking at this video. Because the most important thing everybody wants to know when they have a stamp they feel is old is what is the value. So if you know what the value is of any of these stamps, be sure to leave us a comment. Alright, bye-bye now. Alright, let's take you to some old postage stamps from Christmas. This is Christmas postage stamps. Some of these are really, really, really nice. Alright. Let's start right here, up here with a 12-cent Canada stamp. Then we have a 6 cents US United States stamp. Then a US 5-cent Christmas stamp. And this one here, another Christmas 6 cents US stamp. An 8-cent Christmas stamp. These are all collectible, and you can collect whatever that suits you, whatever makes you happy. If you're into Christmas stamps, this is a good one. You know others who are, just send them the video. Here's a 20-cent stamp. One of the things you look is for unused stamps. Those are more valuable. look at the gluing behind, so that'll give you a time frame in history as to when the stamp was made, if you have no idea. Okay, that's a 20 cents right there. Gallery of Art. That's a 15-cent U.S. Christmas stamp. That's another 15-cent. They're all different. This one here, look at that, 5 cents. Guess that's just the pine cones here. Then a 32 cents. Look at that. Beautiful angel stamp. Look at this one. I think this is just beautiful. The wagon with the horses and everything, and it says Christmas Greetings. 1931. Isn't that a beautiful one? '23rd Annual Seal. Ah, it's a seal. Okay, a 5 cents Canada Christmas stamp. May not look like it's Christmas, but it says right on it, Christmas Noel, Canada stamp. And here we have another Canada 7-cent stamp, which is also Christmas Noel, just a snowflake. And we move into another 8 cents Christmas stamp. Ah, look at this one, 15 cents, Season Greetings. Set of drums by the window with a bugle. Oh no, candle. And bells. Here's a 3 cents Canada Christmas stamp. Just a North Star and praying hands. Look at this 5 cents Christmas stamp. Just an angel blowing a big horn here. That's a beautiful one. Okay, now this one. A doll in a stroller. It's a Christmas 6 cents stamp. It says U.S. Doesn't say USA, it says U.S. So that gives you a little bit of the time frame of the age of this stamp. There's always little hints. You've got to really look at the details and see what you have. Okay, this one just Happy Holidays. Okay, then down here we have a 1963 Christmas stamp, 5 cent stamp. There's a beautiful lit up Christmas tree. So much taller than the houses in town. Then we have a 5 cent Christmas stamp here. Alright. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend. And remember that postage stamps, because of technology, is going up more and more every year. So this is a good investment. If you want to start some kind of future investment, this would be a good one. Start when you're young. When you reach retirement, they'll be very valuable. Alright, bye-bye now.